Among one of my favorite, maybe even infamous things I like to bring to class is this toy bird. Now this toy bird is a pretty interesting bird. It's made of plastic and people don't think very much of this bird, but it's actually one of my best friends. And the reason why is that my kids got it for Christmas, and when they got it for Christmas I thought, well, this is just a pretty interesting toy. But it actually does a cool thing. Like if you actually hold it on its beak, it suspends itself in the air. Just like that. It's called a magic balancing bird. You can actually pick these up at Mastermind Toys for a few bucks. Not a big deal, but this is the extent of what I would do. So I bring this bird to class sometimes just to see how students react to it. And I can actually design a good social science experiment on the basis of their reaction. And that's what I want you to do in this project for week 3, is that this bird is a pretty interesting thing. It is unique. It is what might be defined or classified as an old school toy. I want you to design a social science research project based upon this bird. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, well, let's talk about whether the bird is made with plastic or whether it be made out of wood, or whether we change the ergonomics or the design of the bird. Now that's something you might choose to do as a project, but you have to realize that that might not be a social science research project. You might decide find out a way to actually devise one, but it might not actually be a social science research project. What we're looking for in social science is people's attitudes, behaviors, whether those are changing over time or not. Whether stimulus, like a bird, may change their opinions on different things, or their attitudes or their behaviors. When we do that, we're getting more into the social science realm. So as a professor bringing this to a class of 100 students, maybe students are going to react differently when I, as the professor, have the bird versus when I might not have the bird. That's the kind of example that you might come up with regard to designing and devising a social science research project on the basis of this bird. Now you can choose any topic that you'd like, any group of subjects that you like, but it has to be about this bird for your project. I want you to come up with something that can be tangibly done with this bird. You're actually not going to conduct the assignment. You're going to plan a strategy to do a study. And that's what I want you to do for this lecture. So read the online material, the information sheet that comes with this assignment, and make sure that you're focusing on this bird and what it might do, whether it's present or not, on the basis of this. So again, this is a plastic bird you could pick up at something like Mastermind Toys for a few bucks. It is what I would consider an old school toy. And I have been known to bring this prop to class on occasion to see how students react. So on the basis of that information, come up with something clever. You can choose anything, but it has to be a social science research project. I look forward to your assignments.